government says it wants answers from Volkswagen and other car makers about whether they are still deceiving customers in this way. The German economy minister says the reputation of the entire German industry is at stake.
This
was a bad incident, and we worry about the fact that the justifiably excellent reputation of the German car industry, and in particular that of Volkswagen, suffers, as I'm sure you can imagine.
The falling share price is just the beginning. When all's said and done, the penalties could be amongst the harshest ever faced by an auto company. So just to put this into perspective, and it'll give you an idea of why this is so serious. And remember, of course, Toyota, the previous scandals of Toyota, you had General Motors, and now you've got this one. Well, you're looking at a potential fine of up to $18 billion. That's because it's 37,000 for every car that broke the rule, or up to 37,000. According to Bloomberg news agency, criminal charges, an investigation has already begun. Now, this could mean executives could face jail time, or certainly the corporate entity could be prosecuted. And, of course, this being the United States, serious class action lawsuits are already being explored for one very simple reason, that the owners of vehicles who have the defeat device may now find their cars worth considerably less and be more difficult to sell. Lauren Fix is an auto analyst known as the Car Coach. She joins me from Lancaster in New York, and it's great to see. I've been reading your tweets and your articles. So let's just give me an overview in a sentence or three. Just how serious is this?
Well, from a value perspective, for people that own these 2-liter TDI or turbo diesel engines only, and that's only in the VW line and only the Audi A3, the potential for those cars to be worth less overall in resale is potential. However, when the software repair comes in, it is going to be a software repair, it could impact the fuel economy. If it does, it will definitely impact the resale value. If it does not impact the performance or the fuel economy, it's going to be a moot point. However, there's still going to be a pretty serious fine put toward VW, and I still have some issues about what that's really going to be, because $37,000 a car, many of those cars don't even cost that much.
All right, now, within the company, I'm going to ask you the same question I asked my last guest. How many people do you think in Volkswagen even knew this defeat device was there? Had it been put in decades previously, years previously, and everybody had just forgotten about it? Or do you think something more is going on?
Well, it's very difficult to speculate exactly how many people are involved. At some point, a software engineer was told by somebody, you need to put in this defeat device because this is going to allow us to have a cleaner tailpipe exhaust emissions. Now, just to clarify, that only means that when you're driving the car and you're on full load, that means your foot is fully to the floor, it's between 10 and up to 40% worse tailpipe emissions. That's nitrous oxide, which causes smog and potential respiratory issues. At the top, who knows? Will someone at the top be prosecuted? Highly unlikely. Let's be honest with ourselves. Just like at GM, a few people will get fired, there'll be a lot of apologies, and in the end, there'll be a big fine and a hand slapping. Unfortunately, like General Motors, they might have a delayed prosecution, but the tort lawyers, they're lining up already.
Right, so the compensation aspects for VW are huge, but give me a public policy view, if you will, Lauren, just how, you know, you're a woman who loves motor cars in every shape, form and description. When you heard this, were you shocked, horrified, dismayed, or did you always know there was something smelly going on?
Well, I didn't always know something smelly was going on, to be honest with you, and I was actually kind of shocked. I've always been a big fan of the VW product line. Remember, the VW group overarching is Audi, Seat, Skoda, Porsche, Lamborghini, Bentley. They own a lot of product, and it's just this one specific lineup. But I was really surprised as someone who just test drove the VW Sport Wagon, and I thought it was a great vehicle. And I'm a juror for the North American Car and Truck of the Year, and part of that is we have to define what we're going to do with this situation. This is a very serious situation because it's a trust issue more than anything. No one's going to die over this. This isn't going to impact the safety of the vehicles whatsoever. It may, just may, impact the resale value, but what it does do is it impacts the trust, and that's a shame because I've been to VW in Germany, and I have to say, they build great cars, and I'm just shocked that they had to do this because I've always been a big fan of diesel. I even own a diesel SUV. It's the larger engine, so I'm not impacted by this, but still I'm really surprised that when diesel is such a great answer to the problem that we have to cheat in order to meet certain emissions.
I'm going to interrupt you because, if I may, we're going to take you straight to see the pictures from Cuba. Thank you, Lauren. Let's show the pictures.